This is Note-Taking Guide 2.1, Simplifying Roots. The very first step on simplifying square roots is to prime factor your number. Look for sets of 2 of the same number, and then we're going to pull out sets of 2, but we're going to write it as 1 of that number. We're going to multiply the leftover parts back together. Here's an example already done for you. If we were to take 48 and do a prime factor tree, we would have 2 times 24. 2 was prime, so I would circle it. 24 is 2 times 12, circle the prime. 12 is 2 times 6, circle it. And 6 is 2 times 3. So I'm going to write these numbers right here. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 comes from my prime factor chart over here. Then what I do is I circle sets of 2. So I have 2 sets of 2's there. I rewrite it as 1 set here and here. That 3 has to be left underneath the radical though, because there wasn't 2 of them. I multiply the 2 times 2 back together to get 4, and then I keep the square root of 3 underneath the radical. Let's try it ourselves. The first thing we're going to do is prime factor 40. So 40 is 2 times 20, which is 2 times 10, which is 2 times 5. If I were to write that out, it would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. I get to bring them out in sets of 2, so this gets to come out as a 2, but underneath here I'm still left with 2 times 5, which is going to be 10. You can check this on your calculator to make sure you're right, but that is the correct number. On 100, there's a couple of different ways you could do it, but if we think about 100, it's 10 times 10, and we know that's a set of 2 already that can come out of the square root as the number 10. If I were to prime factor it though and do it the same way, that would be 2 times 50, which is 2 times 25, which is 5 times 5. I would have a set of 5's and a set of 2, which would both come outside to be 2 times 5, which is 10. So either way you do it, you'll still get 10 as your answer. Square root of 108. So 108 is 2 times 54, which is 2 times 27, which is 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3. So when I look at this now, when I rewrite it, I have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. I have a set of 2's to bring out and a set of 3's to bring out front. And underneath I still have a 3. So out front it multiplies to be 6 square roots of 3. We're going to do the same thing now, but we're going to do some variables on here. So now that we've got some practice doing this, we're just going to punch the 32 in on our calculator and let the calculator do the square root of 32 for us. So it tells us it's 4 square roots of 2. I'm going to leave a little space right here because I know I have to put some a's in there. So how many a's do I have there? I have 4 a's, which would be 2 groups of 2, which means I get to bring out a group of 2's. 2 a's. Same thing here. We're going to just let the calculator do the square root of 92 for us so we don't have to do that work anymore. It'll be 2 square roots of 23, but I know that I have to do some more with the variables. There's 5 x's there, so how many groups of 2 can I have in 5? I can have 2 groups of 2, which would get me to 4, with 1 left over. And then if I were to just draw out the y's to see it, I would have 1 group of 2 with 1 left over. This next one, there's only 1 x and 1 y, so they can't come out. They have to stay under there. But I have 12 z's. If I think about how many groups of 2 I can have in 12, I would have 6 groups of 2. These next problems right here are a little bit different because if you notice the number in the radical, it's the cubed root this time. So in order to do the cubed root, I have to have 3 of a number in order to take it out. So when I do 48, I would have 2 times 24, which is 2 times 12, which is 2 times 6, which is 2 times 3. When I list that, I have a group of 3 2's right there, so it gets to come out front. But the 2 and the 3 has to stay under 4 2 times 3, which is 6. The same thing happens on this other one, the cube root of 27. I happen to know that 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, and I need a group of 3 to bring it out, so my answer is just going to be 3.